Today's video is going to be about installing the Apache web server on Ubuntu, and I'll start by telling you a little bit about the Apache server. It is an open source software package, which means that it can be used freely without requiring any purchases. Its official name is Apache HTTP Server, and it is a software package that turns a computer into an HTTP web server. This means that it sends web pages stored as HTML files to users who request them on the internet, and it runs on most of the servers in the world. It is very fast, reliable, and secure, and you can also customize it to meet the needs of the different environments you are using by using models and extensions. And if you want to learn more about Apache, you can go to their website, which is apache.org, and learn about the Apache Software Foundation and how they update and maintain the Apache web server. And the server is also cross-platform, which means it can also be used in Windows and macOS, although it is commonly known for being used in Linux. So we are going to head straight into the tutorial. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to install Apache, and we'll install it by using this command: sudo apt-get install apache 2-y. It is already installed, and to verify that it has been installed, there are various ways to do this. You can open your browser and you type in localhost. So I'll open Mozilla, and then you'll type in localhost as one word. It should bring you to the default Ubuntu page, which is this one as shown. Another way you can do this is by getting the IP address of your computer and typing it in this web browser, and it will also load up the same page. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to configure our firewall. So I'll go back to my terminal, and the first thing we do in configuration will display the available app profiles that are on the firewall. Sudo ufw app list. Then you hit enter, and it shows you the available applications. And then after that, we are going to write a command that will allow normal load traffic on port 80. So you'll type in sudo ufw allow apache, and you should not forget to put the quotes, because if you don't, the command won't run. Yes, and that should be your output. Then afterwards, you're going to verify these changes by checking the ufw status. So you'll type in sudo ufw status, and this should be your output. But in case you get your status as inactive, you can use the sudo ufw enable command, and it will enable the firewall, and then you can check back the changes by using the status command. And then after that, if you have any other applications or services that you need to allow, you make sure you configure your firewall to allow traffic. For example, if you need to allow traffic on maybe an application like OpenSSH, you can use sudo ufw allow, then OpenSSH in quotes. You should not forget to put the quotes, and this will ensure that there is secure encrypted logins over the network. And at this point, the Apache service is now up and running, and the next thing we're going to do is to configure it. And it is very helpful to have some level of control over the Apache server while you're managing it, and this is necessary because you'll be reloading and restarting Apache quite frequently as you make configuration and changes to it. So you also need to know how to start, stop, restart, and reload the Apache web server as needed. And all these operations, they use the systemctl command with a series of switches, which I'll show you in a bit. So the first one I'm going to show you how to start the Apache server. So to start it, you use this command: sudo systemctl start apache2.service, and this should start the server for you. So to confirm it, you can use the status command, which is sudo systemctl status apache 2, and this should show that the server is up and running. So the output should be active running. As you can see here, the output is active running. And then to return to the normal state of the terminal, you just press Q for quit, and then it quits without stopping the server. So if you need to stop the server, you'll just type in the same command, but in place of start you put stop. So you'll write sudo systemctl stop apache2.service, and then you can also check the status to make sure it has been stopped. So instead of retyping the commands all over again, you can just use the arrow keys on your keyboard to navigate to the command that you want to use. So I'll use the top arrow key and you'll navigate to the status command, then hit enter, and your output should be inactive dead. So then again you'll press quit, and it will return to the normal state of the terminal. And if you want to restart Apache again, we use the same command, but in place of stop we use restart. So I'll navigate to the command using the up arrow key on my keyboard, and in place of stop I'll put restart. Then you run it, and then you can check the status again, and then it shows you it is active and running. And then we'll quit, and then we can also reload the server. So we'll navigate to the restart command and replace it with reload. Hit enter, and we'll again check the status to make sure it is running. Yeah, so it shows you here that it is active and running. Yes, and then you'll also need to know how to configure the files and the directories that are in Apache in order for you to make content available online. So by default, Apache creates a document root directory at the directory path var www.html. So I can just show you this using the files. So to access that file, if you don't know that much about navigating directories using the terminal, you can always use the files. So you'll open up your files, and then I'll show you the location. So you go to other locations, then you go to computer, then you look for the var folder, which is the last one, then the www, then HTML, and this you'll find the index.html file inside this HTML folder, and this is the web page that you have seen when you have run the server on the browser. So this index.html is this same file which is here. So if you want to change the content of it, you can always edit this index.html file. So it brings up the code for that page, and then you can just scroll down and look for the body section, and then once you're in the body, you can change the content and put whatever you want. So I've already edited mine. Instead of it works, I've inserted here please subscribe. I can also change this first paragraph and put something like, maybe leave a comment below. Let me put it in caps, leave a comment below, and then we'll save it. I'll minimize this window, and then I'll reload the page to confirm that it has worked. Press F5, so you see here it shows please subscribe, and before the text which was here was it works, and then here. So to learn more about this, you can always visit my website. I have the full tutorial and explanations on everything, and it will be linked in the description. But for today I'm going to stop here.